Well, how do you guys want to start this? Is that like my job? Figure that out?
Yeah, it's your job.
Kind of a little bit.
Yeah, at least for the first week, it's your job, bro.
That's kind of. Is that really? We're gonna switch off each week?
Yeah, I'll do it next week.
Oh, I had something good for this. Oh, hold on. Give me a second. I'll remember.
Okay.
I think we can just chill here, and as soon as I say the thing, that's the start of the podcast.
All right. Well, how are we gonna know?
Because as soon as I remember it being.
Nice.
Wait, are we supposed to clap like they do in the podcast I watch?
No, it's. we don't have videos to sing.
I know.
We can. All right, is everyone ready? 3, 2,
I'm ready.
1. No one else clapped?
No, I didn't think we were doing a clap. I thought that's what we were doing, not at all costs.
All right, welcome to this case of PDA, Week 1.
That's good.
Keep going.
I am Alec, your host, and with me today is Duncan.
Hello.
And Pat.
Hello, that's me.
Since this is our first week, our first podcast here, how about we start off with a little bit of introductions? Tell a little bit about yourself. And the big P at the beginning here for PDA. Let's go with Pat himself to start it off. Pat, what do you got for us?
I do gotta say, I do have a big P, Alec. Hello, my name is Patrick. I am an applied mathematics major, a senior. I actually just graduated from college. I'm very smart. I now also have a degree. At least I think. The thing with this whole Corona thing is like they don't actually tell you if you graduated. So like I think I graduated, but like I don't know. Maybe I didn't graduate. Anyways, so yeah, that's me. I'm currently looking for a job. Please hire me. I'm a professional. I do a lot of things. You know, rats? Do you like rats? Because I'm really good at rat-related things.
That's
so
good to hear,
that's
Pat.
kind of my whole lore.
People are always looking for rats, I heard.
Yeah. I actually wanted to raise rats once, and I told that as a joke to my aunt, and she thought I was serious.
Did she buy you
Did she get you rats?
rat food?
No,
Anything?
it was I believe it was Easter time.
Oh.
Maybe it was before. Maybe it was last Christmas. I just mentioned that I like rats to her, and she just really took it all the way, and she was really intrigued.
Oh, did you get like rat clothes, like rat socks or something?
No.
Oh man.
It was just a conversation at a dinner table.
Yeah, but that's how.
You could still be getting something rat related too.
I wish that would have been awesome. Well, COVID, I probably would have gotten some this year. But you never know.
That's what I'm saying. Like you probably have some sort of rat raising related present in your near future.
I wish to.
Like that's guaranteed. Okay, my name is Duncan. I am a graduate from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. I graduated with a bachelor's in applied physics. I am currently working at the NASA facility in Greenbelt, Maryland. I am also, because of Corona, I am working from home, and because of that, I have a lot of free time, and I have been streaming a lot recently, and I am almost to the 50 followers I need for affiliate, and then people can give me their money every month, and that's going to be great, because then I can quit my job and just be a gamer all the time.
Any primers in the chat, you think?
Just plug your Twitch stream, dude.
I know.
Pat. For the end. Okay.
Pat, I wasn't gonna do it, but if you're gonna say that, Twitch.tv/LemonLikeLarry210. Thank you very much.
Okay. Fair enough.
Big D for Big Dumb. All right, back to the host here.
True.
My name
lowercase a.
Is
show us what you got.
Lowercase. My name is Alec. I am also a recent graduate with a bachelor in Frisbee. I currently spend my time on my computer searching for jobs, but I also am coaching or helping coach the esports team at Northeastern for League of Legends.
You're a coach. You're like you have a title. You're definitely a coach. You're not helping coach.
I speak to the players sometimes. and that's pretty much what I do. But our season's starting soon, so maybe things will start going. Who knows? But
Full
that's
throttle,
me.
baby.
Are you guys like the best yet?
We played in a amateur league last fall, and we made it to the grand finals and lost in game 5, and it was like the second highest level of the league.
That was sad to watch. That was not a pretty game 5.
I forgot about that until this very moment, and now I seem like an idiot. That wasn't an actual podcast transition. I literally just forgot that I watched that.
That was a hard. That was a
sad
game to watch.
Still second place in the tournament overall. I think was better than we expected.
That's great. Did you guys beat Maryville?
I don't know if Maryville was in it. If they were playing in that league, they were probably in the league above.
I mean, it's not a tournament if Maryville's not in it. Sorry, bud.
I mean,
we'll see. That's
Rats isn't a tournament because what? Oh, wait.
It was the bot.
Oh,
you know,
I forgot. Sorry.
You know, there's a college team that gave a scholarship to a local LCS player, Mike Young.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Mike Young is going to be playing in the same league we're playing in. It's kind of like unfair, maybe, you know?
Wait. Hold on a fucking second. So what was his path exactly? He graduated high school. He went to college, left college to go pro.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Dropped to academy. Now he's dropped to amateur. Now he's going back to college with a
He's going back to college for his degree now. He's moving on, but he's going back.
But he's
under a scholarship,
still playing.
so he can he's probably getting a full ride. Like he probably doesn't have to pay at all.
Oh, I would probably assume that if you were getting an ex-professional player on your college team, you're gonna pay what you need to get him on there.
Yeah. So I mean, he's getting paid to get a degree. So.
No, he's not. Well, he's not getting paid for it, right?
Yeah, I guess not. It's not a good way to look at it, but it's probably close to free, if not free.
Now that I'm thinking about it, can you make money as a collegiate esports player?
Wasn't there a whole? I imagine.
Isn't that the whole thing with sports teams now?
Yeah, right. Wasn't that a whole college basketball thing?
Right. That's kind of what I want to talk about. Like I know that at least until recently, I'm not actually sure if they've changed this yet or they've just talked about changing it, but collegiate athletes could not make money off of like sponsorships and like use of their likeness in media or content creation. But I know that they were at least talking about giving collegiate NCAA athletes the opportunity to earn money from their collegiate play, which I mean obviously I support. I can't see a reason why these almost pro level athletes should not be paid for making millions and billions of dollars for the industry that they're part of.
Yeah, I think when I first heard about that whole thing, I was on the side of they shouldn't, because I think I was very confused about the colleges paying students. I think like as far as that goes, the most they should get is a scholarship. Like I don't think a college should pay a student, but I also agree like their likeness, their like social media presence, all this stuff, their own marketing and whatnot, if it's not through the college, like I feel like that's theirs, Like if they signed a brand deal, they should be allowed to do that because that's their own person, The college doesn't own that.
Exactly. And I mean the way it works now is that collegiate students just can't make scholarships. Like it's not like they get signed by their colleges and then the colleges take all of the money that they earn from that. They're just not sponsored at all right now. Mm-hmm. I think that's how it works. So I just looked it up, and the news for this story is that the Supreme Court has agreed to hear a case about NCAA athletes getting compensated. The case will be heard in sometime in 2021, and the decision is expected before the end of June of this year. So right now, things are just kind of up in the air about it, but it will be heard. And as far as I'm concerned, I hope that athletes are allowed to finally make some money off of, getting as far as they have, even if they can't make it. Here's the interesting thing, right? The definition of a professional anything is getting an income, a consistent income from doing the thing that you're doing.
So that's
really. I disagree with that.
You disagree with that, okay? So what do you think the definition of a professional is then?
I think professional would be like a top player, I guess, or a top anything in their field, right? Like if I go to freaking McDonald's, right? Like I'm not going to call them a professional burger flipper unless they're like the top tier of burger flippers, right? And they're like working with freaking Gordon Ramsay flipping freaking burgers. That is a freaking professional burger flipper to me, right? But like the McDonald's burger flipper, like that, you can make maybe there's an argument, maybe not consistent income, but enough of an income to survive, at least for the audience that most fast food jobs probably go for. But like, yeah, I'm not calling them a thing. No, I'm not gonna say or a professional. No, I'm not saying maybe colleges aren't professional because that's kind of a very weird middle line where you're like good enough to like be
good enough to
obviously.
Maybe be professional.
Yeah, but like, so that's a different argument. But I don't think the line should just be if you make money or not, because I think that it's silly. But that's just, of course, my opinion.
So my thoughts on that is like, if professional is just making an income off of something, they're technically like, if they're not being paid to directly play basketball, they're just getting paid because they played basketball and now they're like have influence and have like reach. They're not a professional basketball player,
Okay.
Like they could be a professional, but why can't you have a job in college? I feel like you should be able to try to supply income for your college if you need to.
So you're saying that because these NCAA athletes, they wouldn't get paid on a contract to play basketball, but they'd get paid from like sponsorships and other sources of income because they're good basketball players.
Professional, yeah, they'd be like a professional influencer or a professional marketing or something.
I am not calling an NCAA athlete who is potentially going pro an influencer.
Really?
I think that word is so loaded.
Oh, dude. They just have to have enough Twitter presence, and then they're boom, influence.
Dude, okay, God. I remember for Smash Bros. They do this all the time in Smash Bros, which is kind of a weird jump. But the people that get sponsored in Smash Bros are usually the ones that have more influence than
are verified on Twitter.
The game. Yeah, like there's this one guy that like, well, there was a bunch of shit that happened last year, so I'm not going to speak of like everything. It was kind of weird sexual assault things, but like there's this one guy that was like, I mean, he was like good. He was definitely like a top player, but he wasn't like top 10, and there were top 10 players that were unsponsored. And this guy was sponsored just because like they have so much reach. So I don't know what that has to do with the conversation at all. I just know.
So did he have reach before he was a pro player?
Well, the way Smash works is it's kind of like been around for a while. So you kind of just gain reach. Like for a college like thing, you only have 4 years or whatever, right?
Right.
Well, for Smash, it's like, over like 10 years. This guy's been gaming he's been a top professional for 10 years now, and has just gained the Twitter influence. So, like,
but he gained the Twitter influence because he was a professional Smash player, right?
Yeah, but you can, like, gain varying amounts. Like, obviously, the start of it is, but a lot of people more people followed him than the top 10 player.
Well, yeah, so I mean, he just does a better job, like, marketing himself. Yeah, I got you. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't really go on Twitter. I don't have Twitter.
Dude, I love Twitter, man. I'm too addicted.
Yeah?
Twitter just gets all their memes laid. I can't, like...
You see anything on Twitter recently, Pat?
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah, you see what I'm dropping down for
Want to
you
say
here?
that again?
Okay, let me tell you a story, guys.
Yeah,
It's a
please.
story. We'll start at the beginning, okay, with a League of Legends champion. I know you're kind of like crazy, but thinking, what the hell does that have to do with Twitter? Well, let me tell you about a recent addition to the roster called Seraphine, a pop singer started as an indie artist. Basically, there's a whole story behind this. But this League of Legends champion, before she became a character in the video game, she had a Twitter account, and it was pretty much all hyped up. She started as just this indie pop star with like basic tweets, like you just expected her to be this indie kind of virtual singer that kind of had this real but not real aesthetic to her.
Yeah,
So eventually,
can I speak on that?
yeah, you can speak on that before we get to the juicy stuff.
The Twitter, one thing, it blew up like 2 months after it was made, and there was like a 2 month period where like high quality Riot art and various other like small music productions were being posted to this Twitter with like less than 100 followers. And then like in a 24-hour period, she boomed to like have 100,000 followers. I don't even know. And that was super
For those of
cool.
you who don't know, Riot is the company that made League of Legends, and their art department and music department are probably some of the best in the industry, in the gaming industry. Like totally, like their art and music is really really insane. And the way they hyped up the release of this new champion, this new character in the video game, was this Twitter account that has been introduced into the conversation.
Yeah, please continue, Pat.
Okay, so basically, there's a lot of weird controversy about this because it seemed like it was kind of a marketing scheme in a way where they kind of advertised this indie pop star as like this very relatable person when in reality it was a marketing scheme. Whatever. So, anyways, there's another account that pretty much was a parody of this account with another character in the game. It was called Wukong. He's basically a monkey king, and the whole essence
the monkey king,
the monkey king, and the whole essence of this character in the game, he's just kind of a monkey. He's a dojo monkey, but he created a Twitter. This guy created a Twitter account as Seraphine's boyfriend. Wukong would be Seraphine's boyfriend, and Wukong would be Seraphine's girlfriend, or the other way around. And so basically, he started making these tweets acting as if they were together. Of course, not affiliated with Riot at all. If you look at the Twitter account,
well, to be fair, we don't know that for sure.
True.
It could be another marketing scheme.
And it was really, honestly, pretty poorly photoshopped images, but poor to the point that it was funny. So basically, there's this whole story. They had this whole relationship. They went to China together when Seraphine faked going to China. Or, well, I guess she went to China. I don't know. It's a whole weird thing. And then they came back, and basically where they're at now is Wukong, about a couple months ago, proposed to Seraphine.
Aww.
They got married. They moved into a house. And now they're living happily ever after. Unfortunately, there has been a little bit of recent drama with Wukong and Seraphine, mainly with Seraphine and another character from League of Legends called Xayah. Xayah and Seraphine used to be best friends before the whole KDA field happened this last year. A little bit of drama there. They're kind of feuding because obviously, Seraphine's kind of trying to start a career, but she made some new friends, maybe putting Xayah to the back seat. Xayah's a little pissed off about that. So anyways, if you want to look at the Twitter page, we're probably going to be updating you weekly about their stories. But right now, pretty much all you have to know is that this Twitter account does exist. They are married, and they do have a house together. And that's pretty much where we're at right now. I haven't checked, I don't think, the last couple days, but it's a great.
You really gotta just go see it for yourself. I mean, it's not as good. You just gotta see it. But we'll be keeping you updated on Wukong X Seraphine drama segment. That's the segment name. That's what we're doing.
She just like Zaya's got a really good point here. I feel like I'm definitely on Zaya's side. Like Seraphine just immediately, as soon as she takes off, just forgets where she comes from. Forgets like her friends that kind of helped her on the
Hold,
way.
no. Hold on a second. Let's say my streaming career takes off, okay? And I make a bunch of streamer famous friends, okay? And I like hang out with them, and I'm like making it big. And you guys are obviously jealous of them, right? That's what would happen.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, as long as I still am with you guys and I still hang out and we're still chill, like, I feel like Zaya is just jealous, okay? That's what I think.
Zaya,
I think we don't have enough information on Seraphine and Zaya's relationship to truly judge Seraphine that harshly. I think you're jumping the gun a little bit.
Okay, can I counterpoint?
Okay.
Okay, let's set up a hypothetical, okay?
Okay.
You become friends with XQC, right?
I would not become friends with XQC.
hypothetical.
Shroud.
Okay,
You're
hypothetically.
friends with Shroud. Okay.
Okay, I become friends with Shroud for sure.
And you and Shroud hang out with for a couple months. You're streaming big.
Yep.
All right.
And then you marry Pokemon.
And you marry Pokemon. Okay. All right. But then at your wedding, right, you only get one best man.
And
you choose Shroud over one of us.
Oh. Yeah.
That's where the problem lies, because Seraphine chose I don't remember who, one of the KDA girls instead of Zaya as her what's it called, maid of honor.
Yes.
And that is where the problem lies in my eyes. That's fucked up.
So here's the thing, right? If I started hanging out with Shroud, and Shroud and I were like super cool with each other, and like I genuinely thought that Shroud was my best friend, and like I am so grateful to him.
He's a tier 3,
for like,
bro.
He's a tier 3 Shroud.
Hold on, hear me out. I feel like the relationship between Seraphine and the KDA members, which is the K-pop group that was created for more marketing schemes, by the way, for people who don't know, I feel like if Seraphine has gotten really close with them, then I can understand why the maid of honor would be one of them. And maybe Seraphine and Zaya were not as tight as Zaya's letting on before KDA, right? Have we heard Seraphine's side of the story at all?
We have. Seraphine just said it was pretty much a misunderstanding. That, Zaya was kind of being a little overdramatic.
Oh, no, that's bullshit. Fuck that bitch.
I mean, that's not her words. Not her words.
I'm not buying it anymore. Never mind. You guys win.
What can I say? Seraphine exposed.
Seraphine exposed. She does have a monkey for a husband. Let's talk about that, okay?
He will go woohoo style on you, bro. He says that in every tweet that like is attacking Seraphine. He's just like, "Don't make me go woohoo style."
Okay, do you think he flings poop? Like it's a monkey, okay? Right?
They just bought their own house, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So he could do whatever he wants.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think they bought their own house so that Wukong could fling poop whenever he wanted to?
Oh,
it is
man.
poop flinging. Okay, let's okay about this for a second, okay?
He's the monkey
let's say
king, bro. If
that
he wants
Wukong
to throw
wants
poop,
to fling poop.
he will throw
Okay?
poop.
Right. But obviously Seraphine, a normal person, does not want poop flung all around the house. So what do? You have a special poop flinging room for Wukong. Okay? He's got his tire swing in there and maybe some bananas, and he goes in there and he flings poop around. And that's all that the room is. That's it.
What if
Duncan, you can talk shit about Seraphine all you want, but you're not going to talk shit about my boy Wukong.
I'm not talking shit. It's just a natural monkey thing to do, okay? Like, I don't think it's that unreasonable to expect a poop flinging room.
As a monkey?
Or as somebody on the outside looking at the monkey.
You know,
right?
I think that if he wanted a poop flinging room, he would have a poop flinging room.
Exactly.
Do I think that I should be okay with that? No.
You wouldn't be okay if Wukong had a poop flinging room.
If Wukong had a poop flinging room, I'd also be upset about my friend Seraphine who married this poop flinger.
What?
So this all.
Wait, are you talking from Zaya's perspective or from your perspective?
If I was Zaya, I'd be pissed.
Oh. I mean, I don't want to be bringing up. Okay, I don't want to be bringing up analogies here, right? But this is a lot like
Does he wash
Tarzan.
his hands?
Well, I mean, he is a civilized monkey.
Then why is he flinging his poop?
Because he's still a monkey. Do you think he's been able to
okay, let's
counteract
move on. Let's move on. We're done with Wukong and Seraphine.
Wait, can I plug the Twitter?
Yeah, you could please.
Yes.
Plug
Oh my God, plug the Twitter.
Okay, if you want to look at it for yourself, it'll be at Seraphine's Woo. So it'll be Seraphine S Woo.
All right, nice.
So check it out. That's
good.
It. We can move on though.
Moving on.
If you don't have anything immediately that you want to talk about, I have something that I want to test.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't understand influencers. I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but how the fuck do they make so much money?
It's
for posting on social media. I don't understand the concept.
I think the answer to that always is just kids. Like kids look at it.
What?
I don't. Oh, so
who gives them the money?
Their income.
Twitter
is like sponsors and shit. 100%.
I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they're sponsored.
Yeah. Like
what do they do for the sponsor?
If they take pictures, then they'll probably like put brands in their pictures. If they just like tweet things, then they'll probably tweet about like products they use. Like, there'll always just be some kind of advertising.
And the advertising on social media gets them that much money? Like,
I don't know what else it could be because it's not like.
Is advertising really that important? Like, especially, I mean, I assume that only like big companies are spending on them, right?
No, small companies too. Because think about it. I mean, if you are like a new company, right?
Where else would you want to advertise but on social media?
Yeah, like you don't want to sell if your product is very like social media oriented. You're not going to go to TV or something like that.
Especially,
you're going to go out to social media.
Like Twitter and Instagram, especially comparing those to TV. Is TV you're hitting like whoever watches the channel, right? If they're watching at that time. But Twitter, like, person sends their tweet to 1 million followers, like 90% of those 1 million followers.
I get that. But is it better? Is it really more? I wouldn't say profitable, but is it more cost effective to get this influencer to advertise for you over just getting the platform to advertise for you?
It might be,
because I know that there's such a thing as like a sponsored tweet that's literally just like an advertisement in a box, right?
How do you feel as a consumer if you have an advertisement that's telling you it's an advertisement and it's from a company directly versus a YouTuber you watch directly suggesting that he or she enjoys the use of a certain product?
Okay, I definitely see your point. I'm with you there. But like, I see. I feel two ways when I see a sponsored ad or a sponsored video, right? I look at the product and I'm like, this is a shit product. Good on the tuber for getting paid for making their videos because I like their content. but I'm never going to get this product or even think about it ever again.
You name drop them so they never sponsor our podcast. Just while we're at it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No,
We're
I
making
don't
big
even.
money. We're making big money here, Duncan. Okay. Don't ruin it for us.
I feel like
now that I'm thinking about it, that is how we would make money off of this podcast.
Yeah. So I don't know why you're talking shit.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
the only way.
everything that I've just said is completely wrong. And
now, actually, we're gonna go off the 2 cents we get off per iTunes listen. That's what we're going for.
Oh no, let's not do that.
Really?
We can put this after. No. Like.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough.
Got any other topics for us, Alec?
Moving on, influencers. You know who I get influenced by every day when I open Cyberpunk 2077? That fucking... Oh, what the fuck is her name? I don't even remember. The one who always calls you. The same
Regina
one.
Jones?
Yes, Regina Jones, bro. Every day she influences me.
You get influenced by her?
Yeah, with fucking gigs and whatever bullshit she's sending me.
So what does that do? Like, how are you influenced?
That was my smooth transition. Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077. The three of us have played the game a lot since it came out, I think.
You two have played it a lot more than me.
Yeah, quite a bit more.
That is a fact. That is a big fact.
I am gonna say that I will say this is a spoiler-heavy discussion allowed up to where Duncan has played, so you can lead the spoilers. I don't really give a shit about spoiling people who watch this, to be honest.
I'd rather not, if we can avoid it.
Spoil the whole game.
Opinions are spoiler-free. So
opinions are spoiler-free. So for the most part, this talk could be pretty spoiler-free.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for this talk, we should just talk about like how we feel about the game and our experience, and not really discussing like.
Well, Duncan,
what
as the one with the least time, why don't you take ahead?
I'm gonna lead it then. I'm gonna lead this discussion by saying, I do not understand how you have found so many bugs in your video game.
I got the
Alec,
bug
at least, I don't know about Pat. Alec has found probably about 10 times the bugs that I have playing through the game. I don't know if that's because I got lucky and I downloaded like the millionth copy of it on release day, or Alec's PC just sucks. But Alec tells me about all this crazy shit that happens to him when he's playing the game. People are T-posing and losing clothes and like flying through the air.
That's not people, that's
and
me.
I'm just playing through the game.
Okay. Let me tell you about a bug I encountered the other day, Duncan.
Okay.
Not a game-breaking bug. This is a wall.
Yeah.
Okay, there was just a wall that literally just didn't have collision. You could literally just walk right through it. And
then what? What was on the other side?
It was like a box. So like there was 4 sides of the box, and you could just walk through one side of the box. It was like an electrical thing on top of a building. And I think that moment is kind of when I realized that like this, like it was a perfect representation of what the game is, which is very fun, because that shit was so fun and funny as fuck. But it's very just, it seems like there's a lot of like just performance and random like bugs or stuff like that just makes the experience very like unpolished and shit. I mean, it's been said a million times. If you listen to any Cyberpunk review, it'll say that it's a good game, but it's just not finished. And that's how it feels. And it just feels weird to me. I guess the worst part about it is that it was supposed to come out 8 months before it did, and it still isn't finished. I think that's the thing that bothers me the most, was that it was supposed to come out in April, and then they kept delaying it, and it's still very unfinished. Yeah. Like in 6 months, I would imagine the game is still not very finished, which is sad to see.
Bugs for me, so like Duncan was saying, I have a lot of bugs where when I'm just like driving around, I'll start T-posing on the motorcycle, and just like other random things will happen. Those ones don't really bother me, because like nothing's really happening. I'm just driving around and it's really funny. But when cutscenes and stuff bug out and like people are just holding guns for no reason, or like something they're holding is just standing in the air, or the conversation starts like doubling up, that's when I kind of get annoyed because like I don't know, the cutscenes and the story are super interesting, and then and there's someone just holding a gun who shouldn't have a gun, and it's like, all right, cool. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna look at this now.
Yeah, like I remember one of the first quests I did. It was I think Alec was there because I was streaming, and I was supposed to like go in the elevator, and I went in the elevator and nothing happened, and I was just like I had to save quit. And there's been so many like instances of that. I literally walked into an elevator one day and there was no floor,
Ugh.
and I walked out and there was no floor on the streets. It just didn't exist anymore. Like I was walking on it, but I could not see any floor.
What was underneath it?
It was just black. It was just darkness.
Oh my God, Pat! You saw the abyss.
I did
Pat,
see the abyss.
You saw the universal abyss, bro.
I literally am on another level. I'm on another planar level than you guys. But
wow.
Anyways, yeah.
What was your street cred at the time? Maybe once you get to a certain street cred, you just exist on a different plane.
I think it was 50, so maybe.
You said something that you said that the game should have been released like 8 months ago.
It should have.
Obviously it's true. That was their plan. So I have two things to say about that. One is that a big reason that it didn't get released on time was the pandemic, right? I think it was supposed to get released like April something, and then the pandemic hits the US like mid-March. Everything gets shut down for a while. I assume that also affected.
Should be completed. Like at that point, it should be just testing, in my opinion. I don't know much about game development, but that's what I think it should be at that point, just like testing.
Well, that's right, but that testing is where all the bugs come from and where they find all the bugs. It's tough because it's not corner cases. I don't. Okay, so I have to kind of explain a little bit of programming and coding language to our viewers or listeners.
Corner
who don't
cases
exactly
are poo-poo specific things. X equals negative exclamation point.
No. Okay.
That's not a number. Why
when
would
you
you
were
put
testing,
that?
When you were testing a program that you've written, a corner case is testing the limits of that program. So if I've written a program that gives me, it basically counts from 1 to 100, I'm going to test the 1 case and the 100 case to make sure that when the program needs to do something different, it'll do that different thing and it'll function properly. The bugs in Cyberpunk are not like that, I feel. I feel like a lot of the bugs in Cyberpunk are more systemic. So like what Alec was talking about like just randomly T-posing on a car. I feel like that is not a specific case that something different is happening. It's because it's random, right? It's not like every time you get on this specific vehicle you T-pose. It's like sometimes when you're on this vehicle you T-pose, sometimes you don't. And it's really hard to understand what's causing the T-pose and what's not affecting it at all. And I totally agree that even if there wasn't a pandemic, the game would not have been ready by April, whatever it was supposed to be. I think it was like the 17th. So it gets delayed at that point, right?
Let's move on from the bugs and talk about the game itself.
Yeah, we did talk a lot about the bugs.
I think as an open world game, the more I play the game, the more upset I am about how restricting it is. I was driving around in the desert on my motorcycle, and I finally got to a place where I could just off-road and shoot like 2 whatever kilometers towards my objective, just off into the desert, and then the game just kind of stopped me and forcibly got me off my bike, and or like tried to make me turn around and wouldn't let me take my bike out there, and that just
Really?
really pissed me off. Because it's
So
like, what's the point? I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
So was it? I know that when you like drive into a camp or like a strip mall or something, then your car will stop moving forward.
Yeah,
Like the
there's
throttle
like
won't work anymore. Was it like that?
yeah, there's like 3 spots on the map where they stop you from places where you could openly drive around instead of something like that where it's like super tight and you'd probably get stuck. And it's
Mhm.
upsetting because I know for a fact you can drive around in the desert. It was just like that was not an allowable entry point into the desert or something for my car, and that's just like why? Why even put that in the game? That's like something they intentionally put there.
Yeah.
I have not run into that, so I cannot speak on that. But I get that how that would upset you.
Yeah, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
like for an open world game where it's kind of advertised as you can do close to anything. I feel like something like that is not stuff like that isn't meant to be in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still
I
mad
totally
that I
agree.
can't change my character. I mean, honestly, with you, like, I know it was kind of a joke at the start, but it's like that type of game should be the type of game that allows you to change your character. You know, like a
Like mid
next
game.
generation, yeah, mid game, like maybe not like some things like gender or something, stuff that matters on the story, like your voice or something, because voice and
You
body
should be
type
able to
gaming.
change that.
Well, because there are story elements that are affected by that. So I can understand why they don't want to do that because it makes things kind of complicated and like the narrative
Yeah.
really weird in some instances. But I should be able to change my haircut or my
Yeah.
body type or my fingernail color. It's stuff like that is like I should be able to do that, I feel.
I was
And the
kind of
fact that that's
expecting
not in,
that, to be honest. I'm surprised that you can't.
yeah. Like something that's advertised as a next generation game that doesn't have like something I'd expect from freaking Pokemon of all things is like what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what am I missing here?
Yeah, absolutely. For me personally, one of the most defining things about an open world game is the travel system. And while I appreciate a fast travel system, if the travel on foot or by vehicle or whatever is good enough and fun enough, then I'll 100% not fast travel for the entire game. Driving in Cyberpunk is a lot of fun, and I have had some really, really funny experiences where I'm going like 170 on the highway in a straight line, and some random car will come out in front of me, and I will eject out the front window and die. I will die before I hit the ground. It is so funny. I love doing that. That said, there is nowhere in the game meant just for driving. So like GTA 5 is the main competitor that I'm thinking of. You could just get on the loop highway that ran around the entire map, and you could just drive that until you broke your fucking car or killed yourself.
Is there not like I feel like there's a large amount of highways and stuff you could just drive around in like circles.
Yes, but the problem is it's very restrictive because of traffic.
If you go at certain times of days or in certain areas out in the Badlands, there's a lot of straight roads that have nobody on them.
But I don't want a straight road. Where's the fun in just driving straight and holding right trigger? Like,
there's a lot
I
of
want to be
other
weaving
roads.
through traffic, taking crazy turns and drifts. Like, I want to drive like a maniac because I can't drive like a maniac in real life.
I feel
So I
like
want to take that into my open world video game and go
I
nuts.
feel like a lot of the problem with that isn't actually from the traffic and stuff in the game. It's more of how floaty and non-car-like the vehicles feel.
Mm.
One of the biggest cars in the game that you get from the quests, my roommate was driving it around and literally was bouncing it off of other cars while it's literally like a monster truck.
Uh,
And he was like a fucking balloon out there.
wow, really? See, that's really annoying because one of the YouTube videos that Cyberpunk put out was about the different kinds of cars that you can drive, and there was a whole class of car that was supposed to be like a tank class, and you could drive it through other cars, and you could use it to like battering ram
Oh
people.
no.
And if this car is in that class, which it certainly sounds like it should be, like,
Oh my
you
god.
should never be bouncing around. You should be bulldozing everybody.
I got Need for Speed Most Wanted for $5 on the Steam sale. I'm so excited. That is literally my favorite Need for Speed game in the world. It's an open. I don't know. Okay, Need for Speed Most
Wait,
Wanted.
what did you say it was?
The $5 on Steam, best game in the world.
No. What's the name of the game again? You said Need for Speed what?
Most Wanted.
I think I played that game.
Okay, the whole game, there are races and stuff, and like, yeah, technically you have to do the races to unlock better vehicles or whatever. But the real game is it's an open world driving game where you just drive around the city and you get money for racking up stars and outrunning the police.
Oh.
And
Well,
the
we all know my
cops,
Cyberpunk characters.
the cops, bro, like they go hard at you, and it is so much fun. I remember that when I was a kid and I was playing that game, I was in a car chase for like 30 minutes. It was like the most insane chase I've ever been in, and I escaped. And the feeling I got from that, no game has ever come close to matching it.
Is the driving actually like good?
I remembered child me thought it was pretty good. And I was able to escape like a 5-star 30-minute police chase. So I think I needed some control of my vehicle.
Okay. I mean, you got to play it and tell me how it is, because I have been wanting to play a racing game.
I'm so excited.
Or some kind of driving game for...
Wait, you ever play Mario Kart?
Actually, have you ever played Tux Kart?
Dude, you ever played Tux Kart?
We'll talk about Tux Kart at a later time, because that's a whole topic that we need to breach.
Wait, before we move on to from Cyberpunk, I just want to say one more thing about Cyberpunk. Is that even though I've talked all this shit on it, dude, I think it's such a fun game, and I had a blast playing through most of the parts I have already. So it's very weird, and that's all I want to say about it, is because I feel like I talked a lot of shit, but it's very fun, and I hate that it's fun.
I mean, that's really funny, because that's what every other review says, right? They say, this is not a good game, but it's still really fun.
I don't understand it. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about that. Okay.
It's sad. It could have been a really, really good game. Yeah. And I think if they had waited like another couple of years before announcing it, I think this game could have been a lot better than it was. Which sucks, because this could have been like the defining game of our generation, of the decade. And instead we got, something that might go down in infamy, unfortunately, because
that is very true, because it literally came out at the end of 2020. Yep. And it's like that game could have set the pace for the next 9 years.
Yeah, I mean, this could have been what we were looking forward to going forward.
Dude, just give me Skyrim 2. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, Bethesda has not made new Elder Scrolls content. Even though they announced Elder Scrolls 6 was in production like 2-3 years ago. Like they announced, they showed this like 30-second teaser at an E3 event, and we have heard no news of it since.
You shouldn't expect anything for like, I'm assuming that game is going to come out like 2025. at the very earliest.
I mean,
to
at
be
least they're
honest
not
with
like
you.
baiting people. They just put that teaser out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're working
Yeah.
on it. And
And
that's
that's good for me. I mean, if they want to take their time to make sure it's a really, really good game, I'm all for it. But the thing that threw me off with Elder Scrolls and other Bethesda games, and the thing that threw me off with Cyberpunk as well, was how unnatural conversations looked that weren't in cutscenes. And I mean, Bethesda doesn't have any like not in game engine cutscenes.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I might be wrong about that. I should just speak about the game I've played, which is Skyrim and Oblivion. I have not seen any out-of-engine cutscenes. And I really feel that in cinematic moments, I would prefer a developer to take the time to animate, everything. Like, get really detailed with like facial expressions and I mean, especially when you see games like COD coming out with insane motion capture cutscenes. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the commercial for the new like Cold War COD game, but that looks like Ronald Reagan in a video game. That is crazy.
Duncan, I think that games like Skyrim, and especially after seeing Cyberpunk and what they did, I think something that could be expected from this point out of the next Oblivion game is how fluid the first-person gameplay feels like, so that when you do get into a situation where there's an in-game cutscene, it doesn't feel like it's an in-game cutscene. Like in Cyberpunk, when cutscenes happen, like they are very fluid. It feels like I'm still playing the game, and I don't lose my immersion. Like if I'm playing Call of Duty, and I see just like a couple frames, a couple seconds, whatever it is, of somebody going into like the right spot to start the animation, or like something that breaks the immersion, it kind of like loses its feel. I think that's why Skyrim does that, is because you play the game one way, so when you get into a cutscene, to keep you're the character, right? So why would you go into a cutscene? You're still in the world, you're still playing.
Well, I still want to see the cutscene from my character's perspective. I just want like the character's facial expressions and like movements to be more.
Oh, that's because they use robots.
Well, yeah.
The robots. Get rid of
robots.
Have either of you played the PS4 God of War game?
I played 5 minutes of it. No, that's a lie. I played like an hour of it. And then I was like, yeah, I'm pretty bad at this game. And I don't want to play it anymore.
Wow.
Maybe I'll play it in 2020 when I predicted the pandemic, actually. I was like, yeah, when the pandemic comes, I'll play it. And then I never played it.
Nice.
I had other priorities.
Well,
like Monster
because
Farm.
I want to talk about this for a second. God of War on the PS4. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want to?
No, I was just typing up Monster Prime real quick.
Oh, I can't wait, bro.
Okay. God of War on the PS4 is one of two games that I have given a perfect 10. It is the most amazing interactive story experience that I have been through. I was invested and completely immersed the entire game. The entire game is one long, continuous shot. There are no black screens, no breaks when you are playing the game, which is awesome if you are going for a cinematic experience. The gameplay is insane. Everything about that game just hits all the right spots for me. But the reason I bring it up now is because I feel that the way that they did cutscenes the game isn't played in third person, so you never get a first person perspective of your character.
I'm not arguing that Skyrim shouldn't try to make their cutscenes look better. I'm saying like the reason why Skyrim made the choice to do it, or the way they made the choice to do it, was because they wanted to keep the feel that you're playing a tabletop RPG in a video game setting. Like everything is exactly the same. Like no matter what you're doing, it's the same type of graphics, the same type of gameplay, the same everything.
Okay.
There's never like a disconnect between like I lose the camera control or whatever like this. It's like you are always in control as the player in some sort of way.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I am all for fluidity. I'm pretty much what I'm saying is that I wish it looked better and was more, cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
If it's telling this big, if it's this big cinematic moment, like I really want to see all out. I really want to see everything down to the you notice like the little details. Like if they're there, you notice them. Like somebody like reaching down and like itching their foot and making it look as realistic as possible and as fluid as possible. Like those little details that just make the characters seem more human and realistic. That it's very how do I word this? It really provides a lot to making a better cinematic.
Well, it makes it easier to immerse yourself because the characters become more
immersive experience. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
Hey, you got any closing words on that subject?
Skyrim, give me Skyrim. I just think my final words would be I think when I play open world games, I see what Duncan's saying about God of War immersive things. I don't really give a shit, honestly, like with the NPCs looking like immersive and shit. Like as long as I think this is why I like Cyberpunk so much and why I like Skyrim so much. I think just playing the game, as long as playing the game is fun, and you give me like different like options to just play the game however the fuck I want, like that's enough for me. So maybe it's just like different criteria. Like I would not give a shit like if Skyrim had like 20 times a worse story. Like I love the bugs in Skyrim. I love like that the shitty feel to it sometimes. And that's why I guess I said Cyberpunk is good. Maybe that's the reason I didn't really get into God of War, because when I started playing it, it felt like I was playing a part in a story rather than making my own story. Which is, I guess there's trade-offs to each.
Yeah.
Where, like,
and I think that's part of what I enjoyed about. I think that's part of what I enjoyed about God of War. I guess that's what I enjoy. That's the style of video game that I prefer. I'd prefer a linear story with open world elements. So like I can go explore if I really want to, but that's not where the story is, and it's not required to enjoy the story. Maybe I'm just uncreative and I'd rather somebody tell me their story than make my own story.
All right, well,
you should play Danganronpa.
Let me tell you right now, Danganronpa is a subject for another time, as this story is coming to a close. We are approaching an hour on this talk here. So, I think that it's time to bid our listeners farewell for today.
Thanks for watching.
That's so
listening.
Epic. Oh
yeah,
my
if
God.
you got any last words, if you want to replug your Wukong Twitter.
Let me plug first. Follow me on Instagram. Hold on, give me a second. Shaquille O'Neal. That's my Instagram.
Okay. Yeah.
Please follow me on Instagram.
Please drop
Shaquille
O'Neal a follow on Instagram.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys, we will be releasing the first episode of The Plunge next week as well. Look forward to that. That is the podcast where we go in depth with League of Legends esports in the 4 major regions in the world. We are very excited to share that content with you all as well. Twitch.tv/LemonLikeLarry310. Please give a follow. Love you. Thank you. And I had a blast. I'm very happy that we got to do this.
Yeah. If you've listened this far and you want to show your appreciation, I don't know where this is going to go up. It's probably going to go up in multiple places. Just giving it a listen would be great. If you want to share it with any of your buddies or drop a couple likes in the subscription, that'd be great. Whatever you can do on that site.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and sacrifice your children. Thank you very much.
Future episodes, we don't really have plans on what the topics will be. They're just going to be whatever we want to talk about or end up talking about that day. So if you enjoy that.
That said, if you guys have any topics that you'd like us to discuss, we'll do our best.
Yeah, no promises on that one.
Yeah. Let's talk about Shaquille O'Neal next week.
All right.
So Shaquille O'Neal podcast.
Shaquille O'Neal is coming to this podcast. We will get him as a guest on the podcast. Follow Shaquille O'Neal on Instagram.
We're getting sponsored.
This was Pat, Duncan, and Alec signing off on this case of PDA. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, guys.